Welcome back everybody to a very special kind of video. Today we're taking a look at all of the Ultimate titles over at Marvel Comics and all of the Absolute titles over the DC Comics, and we're going to create a tier list, alright? We're going to rank them against each other. I saw a bunch of other people doing this. They were just doing like, a regular top 10 list or whatever. I thought it'd be fun to do a tier list, dude. So I'm a big fan of these tier lists. This is what we got, alright? So I got my iPad here with the tier list. We have all of the Ultimate Universe titles that have been released so far, all of the Absolute titles that have been released so far, and then also we'll talk about a little bit the upcoming Absolute titles that are going to be released starting next month. Actually, I think the next one starts next month. So yeah, let's get into it, dude. Starting with Ultimate Spider-Man, the series that started it all over at the Ultimate, over at Marvel Comics, the series that started this entire Ultimate New Universe off. You guys might know this is like my favorite Ultimates title for sure. It's going right there in the must pull read day one tier. So yeah, every time Ultimate Spider-Man comes out, it's immediately like usually my pick of the week. You guys might know that if you've been watching my new comic book day videos. Easily, it's got to go on the very top there. And then also once we get into it, we'll be moving around the tiers a little bit if need be. So yeah, so Ultimate Spider-Man, that's got to be a must pull read day one. Next up, we got Ultimate Black Panther. All right, so this series, a little bit hit or miss for me, not gonna lie. I think that this, actually, you know what? A lot of the Ultimate titles, their biggest issue is just pacing. We'll be on issue 13 of Ultimate Black Panther, and I really do feel like nothing has happened. So Ultimate Black Panther, you guys might know, I've actually already dropped it off my pull list and replaced it with another series that we'll get into later, but I'm gonna go Ultimate Black Panther is trade, wait, / read digitally. Since I've dropped it off my pull list, it's definitely a series that I'm gonna continue reading and staying up to date with as much as I can over on Marvel Unlimited. I think they're like 3 months behind. So yeah, that's where Ultimate Black Panther is gonna be for me. Not a bad series by any means, but just some pacing issues, man. I really do feel like, I don't know, nothing really of substance was happening in each issue. They're building up to this giant battle, this giant war between the evil Moon Knight or whatever, and I think the battle was over in like one punch, I feel. So I don't know, man. I just got issues with Ultimate Black Panther. Next up, Absolute Batman. Absolute Batman has been a standout series so far, man. I think I'm gonna I'll put it up here to start, okay? So Absolute Batman, of course, we have Scott Snyder coming back onto a Batman title. We have Nick Dragotta's incredible artwork. I've been loving Absolute Batman. I think each issue just knocks it out of the park more and more. It keeps leveling up. And you guys know I'm a DC guy, right? So with Batman being, I guess, my favorite superhero. So I gotta read that day one every single time it comes out. It's always on the top of my stack. Usually my pick of the week. So yeah, that's where we're going with Absolute Batman. We might move it down a little bit if need be, but that's where I feel my gut check, where I'm putting it to start. Absolute Batman, just a standout series. Next up, the Ultimates. The Ultimates from Marvel Comics. This is the superhero team in the Ultimate Universe. We've got a very interesting lineup. I really do like this lineup. And I guess the way I feel about this Ultimates title is each issue could be a standout issue, but the entire series overall with the Ultimates, right? Where is it going? What's the direction? We're building up to the maker getting released or whatever, and it's okay, all right, let's move on with the overarching story, right? But each individual issue can be really stand out. The Fantastic Four issue, right? Issue number 4 of the Ultimates. That was an excellent issue. You're telling 4 different stories at the same time. Really great use of paneling and comic book fundamentals and all that stuff. Really great issue there. You have another standout the America Chavez one. That one's pretty cool. The Hawkeye one, that one was cool too. It's so I guess, I hope I'm making sense there. Each issue might be really good and stand out, but the entire series overall, it's all right, man, I get it. You're recruiting a new member every single issue, but what's the overall story? Let's start pushing it. So the Ultimates, dude, I'm gonna put must pull top of the stack. It's definitely probably my second favorite. Well, maybe that's a spoiler, but it's up there in terms of Ultimate series for me. It's definitely something I read top of the stack. Must pull, obviously, definitely a standout series from Marvel Comics, and it's usually at the top of the stack. Next up, Ultimate Wonder Woman. Ultimate Wonder Woman, dude. You guys want to hear a hot take? You guys want to hear a hot take, dude? I like Ultimate Wonder Woman better than, or sorry, Absolute Wonder Woman better than Absolute Batman. So Ultimate Wonder Woman, right? I keep saying Ultimate. Absolute Wonder Woman. We have, Kelly Thompson. We have Hayden Sherman, and we have Jordi Belair. Just an insane creative team. And I don't know, man. This one I'm having, like, the story so far. It's not been a ton that's been happening, right? It's been Diana versus this Tetra Hive or whatever the big monster is called, right? And Diana's trying to figure out how to save all these different people. So in terms of the story, not a ton has happened so far, but I don't know, man. This team is really just cooking. You instantly, like, they get Diana's characterization so well, even though this is like a completely new take of Diana. I think the use of magic and all that stuff is really cool. And Hayden Sherman's art, man, really does just take it above, like, take it to that next level for me. So Absolute Wonder Woman, dude, is just a standout series. And I think nowadays I'm liking it more than Absolute Batman, which might be a hot take, man. Might be a hot take, but definitely enjoying this Absolute Wonder Woman series. Can't wait for the next one. That's another one that's always my pick of the week, pretty much. So next up, Ultimate X-Men. Ultimate X-Men, written and drawn by Peach Momoko. This series is probably most comparable to, like, I don't know, like a Pixar movie almost, in terms of kind of like the setup, right? Like, it's this young, this group of teenagers in Japan, or whatever the Japanese area is called in this Ultimate Universe, taken over by the Makers Council and that sort of thing. But, we're slowly building up this team. They're sort of trying to figure out what's going on. There's like this cult of mutants that's been going, doing kind of nefarious things. So yeah, I don't know. It's very intriguing, kind of the plot points they have going in Ultimate X-Men, but it's not a series that, I don't know. I'm gonna say must pull right now. So, whenever it comes out, sometimes it might be the pick of the week if it's like a smaller week. I really do enjoy Peach Momoko's art in the direction of the story, but like the other Ultimate series, I think it just has like pacing issues. Like, let's keep it moving, let's keep it moving. I feel like we're on issue 11 just came out. We're in like the third arc. I feel like we should start getting somewhere a little bit quicker. But Ultimate X-Men, definitely a must-pull series. That's where I'm putting it for now. Absolute Superman, dude. Absolute Superman. Just insane stuff. I mean, we got Sandoval on the art, and then we have not Joshua Williamson, Jason Aaron writing it, right? And I've been loving this take on Clark Kent. It's kind of interesting though, right? So with this series, we only have 3 issues out at this point with Ultimate Superman. With Absolute Superman. Why do I keep saying Ultimate? Anyways, Absolute Superman, right? We only have 3 issues out. There were the 2 initial issues, and the third one was focused on Krypton before it exploded, right? So we saw all of Kal-El's life on Krypton, a little bit more insight on that. So this series has been really good so far, but there hasn't been enough for me to like, okay, cool, this is like a must read day one. I'm gonna put it right there. I think I'm liking it. I think this, okay, here's how I'll put it, right? Absolute Superman has a ton of potential, right? So we know Jason Aaron, we gotta let him cook for a little bit, but I do think that the direction they're going with the character and the world, this new Lois Lane is like really cool too. So I want to see more of it. I'm excited about it. That's where I'm gonna put it. Every issue I really anticipate. So I'm gonna put it above the Ultimates. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Next up, we got Ultimate Wolverine. Ultimate Wolverine. There's only been 1 issue out of this so far, but man, what a standout issue, dude. I think I'm gonna put Ultimate Wolverine. We're gonna put it as a must pull. There's only been 1 issue out, right? So we have Chris Condon, who I'm a huge fan of, writing it. We have Cappuccio on the art. I love Cappuccio's stuff when they were working with Jed McKay on the Moon Knight stuff. Just incredible penciling and that sort of thing. So I'm gonna put Ultimate Wolverine as a must pull, and I'm sure we'll see it maybe move up if we do this segment more often. I'm sure we'll see this move up. Yeah, so that's kind of how we're looking for the Absolute titles and the Ultimate titles that have released so far from Marvel Comics and DC Comics. In terms of what's not out yet, I'll kind of put these in order of what I'm most anticipating to least. So most anticipating, dude, it's got to be Jeff Lemire's Absolute Flash. I am super hyped for this, dude. I think the art that they've released so far, all the different previews have been stand out. I really do think that Jeff Lemire is going to be cooking, dude. We got a teenage Wally West, right? Just learning, coming into his own with his powers. There's no other Mantle, right? He's going to be like the first Flash of this universe or whatever. So there's no one to kind of teach him. He's got to learn it all on his own. I think this series has a ton of promise. I really do think that Absolute Flash is going to be a standout one. So yeah, really anticipating that. Absolute Martian Manhunter is next up, dude. I think that Dennis Camp has been really surprising me. Obviously, the writer of the Ultimates. So I've been really anticipating this Absolute Martian Manhunter series. And then we have the artist is Javier Rodriguez, I believe, right? They did that series Zatanna Bring Down the House. They were doing the art for that. So I really do think that this series is going to be really stand out, dude. So Absolute Martian Manhunter. And then Absolute Green Lantern, man. So we got Al Ewing coming in right in this series. I'm a pretty big fan of Al Ewing. I mean, there's still like a bunch of his series that I still need to get into, like, you know, Immortal Hulk is the big one that I still got to read. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Al Ewing stuff. I don't know, the Green Lantern is just not like my favorite, you know, group of characters in all of DC Comics. So it's a little bit lower for me in terms of anticipation. But, you know, it's supposed to be like a horror kind of take on Green Lantern. So I'm excited for that. Definitely going to pick it up for sure. Once it comes out, it's definitely going to be a series that I'm pulling, but I'm not anticipating it as much as Absolute Flash and Absolute Green Martian Manhunter for sure. So yeah, that's how I think I'll do the tier list, man. Is this where I'm going to leave it? Let me think about any like last minute changes, right? I'm going to go like that. Okay, that's it. This is the final tier list, right? We've got Must Pull Read Day 1, Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Batman, and Ultimate Spider-Man. Those are my 3 favorite series, pretty much on the stands right now. Next up, we've got Must Pull Top of the Stack. So these are things that maybe I don't read day 1. Maybe I'll read like the day after New Comic Book Day or whatever. We got Ultimate, the Ultimate series, but then even higher than that, we have Absolute Superman, which I've really been enjoying. Next tier down, we have a Must Pull series, right? So Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Wolverine. Really been enjoying those, excited to keep pulling them. I'm going to do this though. I think that in terms of anticipation, I'm more anticipating an Ultimate Wolverine than an Ultimate X-Men. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we're going to rank those ones. Next up, we've got Trade Rate or Digital. I've got Ultimate Black Panther. I've got some qualms with this series. I think it's a little bit flawed. Still a series I think is worth reading, and kind of how it fits into the Ultimate Universe is still pretty cool, but that's a series that I'm going to be trade waiting or digital. And then finally, the series that are not out, the Absolute 3 series that are coming out soon. That's what we got, man. That's my tier list for the Ultimate Universe and the Absolute Universe combined all in one. That's how we're doing it. So in the future, man, once these series come out, these Absolute series and some more Ultimate series, we'll definitely be updating this tier list as we go. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of my tier list? Did I make any misses? How would you guys rank these different things? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and read more comics.